Saggies, oh my Saggies, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina, y'all. I was like, I just forgot. I really did. I'm so sorry. I thought I was just like water signs today. My bad. So we've got Anima Mundi, the comic, and the forest. We didn't really get a whole lot at the onset, but I just feel like this. Well, my Saggies are always so adventurous, but it's just kind of this idea of, I mean, the comic is brilliant enough to be happy, right? Um, and and to ask enough questions that you gain like a fullness of understanding, because ignorance is bliss for everyone who isn't ignorant, or for everyone who's ignorant, but it's not for everybody who isn't. You know what I mean? And I just kind of feel like you want to be, well, I feel like you want to be in a state of understanding because you want to be happy, because I just feel like the change starts with you. And I feel like this undergoing of a change of self with the understanding that, I just feel like saying there are levels to this shit, right? However that plays out for you as an individual. Saggies. Whoa, that was a stack. Okay, hold on. That's going to take a minute. Okay, the Hierophant, the Empress, Temperance, Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the Sun. Well, I mean, okay, so whatever it is that you are gaining an understanding of, this, like, this sense of ignorance is bliss. I feel like that's this energy, because it's not actually, you know what I mean? But when you figure out why it's not actually, then you come in with an understanding that allows for a sense of balance. The Sun, the Empress. I mean, that's abundance, that's joy, that's power, that's life. You know what I mean? And I just feel like knowing what brings life, knowing what creates power, knowing what creates balance, knowing what brings in that abundance. And I think going in the directions in your life that really embody all of those things, right? However that resonates for you, because these are general reads and they're going to resonate differently for everyone. But however it resonates, I just feel like all things good. And I love that for you. Okay. Saggies. The Tower, Eight of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Queen of Wands, Three of Pentacles. Well, the end of the ignorance, the end of feeling like the world's against you, the end of feeling like every time, well, that's dramatic, but sometimes you just be feeling a type of way. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You're allowed to feel your feels. You know what I mean? But I just kind of feel like maybe you haven't felt like you've been allowed to feel your feels, right? And if, I don't know, I just feel like this, like if I'm not allowed to feel my feels, then almost like this, I don't know, I just feel like somebody's stomping their feet. And I don't know where that energy is for you, if you've been in that energy, if you've been dealing with people in that energy or what. But I just kind of feel like there have been a lot of things that have left you feeling like some type of way. And I feel like you haven't felt like you've been allowed to feel any type of way. And I feel like for whatever reason, now you feel safe in feeling your feels. And I almost feel like you have the language to like back that somehow. And I feel like a sense of preparedness in going in a new direction and setting out in that new direction, because sometimes, and it doesn't matter how confident we are, how proud we are, how accomplished we are, if spirit knows that we need to just be stopped dead in our tracks, spirit will stop us dead in our tracks. That is the wrong direction. No. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating, right? Because we don't always understand why we're being stopped dead in our tracks. Why we're not able to go in the directions that we're so confident that we need to go in, right? Ignorance is bliss for the ignorant, but so you had to be, I think, stopped and shown and taught, like spirit's teaching you. And as spirit teaches you, that I think that you are able to loosen your grip on things. I think as you loosen your grip, you're able to, gain insight and understanding. It's like just developing a sense of consciousness and awareness that I think is enabling you to really remove any of the blockages that were preventing you from going in the directions that I think you were like, well, I'm working towards going in this direction. Like this is the direction I'm going. And I think you're gonna go in that direction, Saggies. I love that. You have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, creating through an empowered sense of truth. Because if ignorance is bliss, knowledge is power. And I feel like you are stepping into an era of power. And I feel like there is a sense of just like being really protective of it, because I feel like for whatever reason you've figured out your blockage, you figured out how you could move forward, because I just feel like, well, my goal is moving forward. Get it, Sag. Okay. No. Sorry. My bad. Saggies. The Five of Wands. The Three of Wands, the Tower again. Yeah. I don't know, because I just feel like there's a parting of ways. There are endings that are occurring, and there are new directions that are being taken, because I mean, the Three of Wands is like, I gotta go because this is not working. You know what I mean? The battles, the lack, the ignorance, all of it, like it's just like it's not okay. And so, you have to part ways with it. But the beauty of that is knowledge and understanding is power. And you have the power to move in the directions that I just feel like you're called to, right? Because when we align our energy with spirit, when we open that channel, like we are able to really tap into the directions that are meant for us. We're able to gain understanding, when we seek it, so that we're able to move forward. And I just feel like that's what you've done, Saggies. You've been just figuring shit out, in the simplest of terms. The fault line, the stone. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's been in a lot of reads lately, but it's just that idea of like when you break away all of the things that are preventing you from really going in the directions that you're meant to go in, you figure out what you're anchored in. And I feel like it sometimes, a lot of times, it's it's not about uncovering who we are, it's about uncovering who we're not, so that we can understand who we truly are and the directions that are truly meant for us. And I feel like you've been going through that process, but you've kept trying to understand. You've kept asking questions. You've kept figuring out, like, okay, every time this doesn't work, where am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to be doing? And once I know that, then I know my direction. And I love that for my Saggies. I love y'all so much. I hope that this does resonate with you. If it does, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.